The President of Kenya, William Samoei Ruto, is in cold war with his deputy Kindiki, and according to internal reports, they indicate that the wrangles between the two leaders have been for some time now. It has reached now a point where William Ruto wants Kindiki to be impeached so that the chance can be given to the Luo Nyanza that has shown loyalty to him as compared to the Mount Kenya region, which has shifted away from him. And right now he's so certain that the people from the Mount Kenya, they may not vote for him in the coming election. In as much as William Ruto wants his deputy to be impeached, there have been missing grounds of the impeachment till recently, when a report indicated how the office of the deputy president has been using 8 million per day on choppers. It is something now that the UDA MPs have picked, and they want to use it to impeach Kindiki. And according to internal reports, equally they indicated that William Ruto has already settled on a woman politician from the Luo Nyanza, and that is the Homa Bay governor Gladys Wanga, perhaps to take the chance of Kindiki as the deputy president ahead of the 2027 election. And if this one happens, it means that William Ruto is gonna be criticized so much now that a few months are remaining towards the next election. However, many people are questioning the move, and many people want to know why William Ruto is intending to send away Kindiki, and also in this a short period that has remained towards the next election. Recently, according to reports that emerged, the Deputy President Kindiki's office has been under fire from the UDA lawmakers who uncovered that his office had spent up to 8 million on helicopter hire in a single day. The Public Accounts Committee launched a formal inquiry on April 9, targeting 478 million in the unpaid bills owed to suppliers for the 2024-2025 financial year, of the staggering figure 150 million, which went to helicopter services alone. And this one marks the basis of his impeachment motion that will be tabled so soon, because perhaps William Ruto is now dissatisfied with the Mount Kenya region, which has strongly shown him that they are not together and they are not gonna vote for him. And for a country struggling with the high debt and also punishing cost of living, the numbers have ignited public outrage. The lawmakers are not backing down. The Public Accounts Committee did not stumble onto this story by accident. Lawmakers reviewed expenditure records submitted by the Office of the Deputy President and found a pattern of helicopter spending that raised a serious red flag. The records showed repeated multi-million shilling entries for chopper hire across several countries, and many of them linked to a single day of travel. This one has led to the UDA MPs to question that expenditure, especially now that Kenya is grappling in poverty and many regions are also underdeveloped. The Rarieda MP Otiende Amolo did not mince his words when he addressed the committee. He pointed directly to one entry that stood out above all others. He said that there is a particular entry for a chopper to Tharaka Nithi, Laikipia, Isiolo and Kitui, which shows 8.08 million in one day. He then pressed the obvious question that every Kenyan taxpayer would ask, that many of the entries get to 3 to 4 million. Is it practical to spend 8 million in one day? And that is taxpayers' money. That's according to Rarieda MP Otiende Amolo. The committee also did not receive a satisfying answer. Instead, the PSC chair Tindi Mwale offered a brief and widely criticized the defense, stating that the deputy president has the right to go home and come back, and that response failed to address whether the trips were for official government business or personal travel, a distinction that matters enormously when public funds are involved. And this one now If you see, it has been happening since he was since the time of the empowerment rallies. The empowerment rallies, Kindiki could move from one point to another. No one questioned. Why are they questioning now? It is because they want to kick him out so that they can bring in a Luo deputy president. And that is why you see Atenda Molo is so bitter, and he needs, he wants to stamp authority on this. Remember, at some point, there is a time when Kithure Kindiki said that he cannot hold on that office for so long. And anyone can hold on the office, or he can lead, and someone else can also lead. He had shown that the tone he used, it was of a resigned person. It is because he has sensed that he is not needed, and if he may not be impeached right now, perhaps 2027 William Ruto will pick a different running mate, perhaps from not, maybe even not from the Mount Kenya region. Now, the lawmakers specifically flagged the frequency of the helicopter trips to Tharaka Nithi, Kindiki's home county, and the committee questioned whether the government was effectively funding personal travel for the deputy president under the cover of official duties. This is not a trivial concern. Public finance law requirement that, or rather requires that government resources serve public purposes, and if the chopper hire requires, or rather record show repeated trips to a home county without clear official justifications, then that raises a direct conflict of interest question that the committee is now pursuing with the documented evidence in hand. Some things are not adding up, because if you can spend 400+ million in a month, what about one financial year? And that's why we say that this administration, this William Ruto's administration, is so extravagant, and that is why Kenyans are grappling in poverty, because they want to, these leaders, they are putting a big load on the backs of Kenyans, because they need to sustain their insatiable luxury lives. So the PSC demanded that the office of the deputy president submit a full breakdown of how 8 million was spent within 1 week. It wants receipts, itineraries, and the proof that each flight served a legitimate government person. As I told you earlier, these things have been happening. This is not the first time. But why are they raising it now? It is because William Ruto wants him out. You see? Because it has been happening. It has been happening for a longer period of time. Why are they questioning right now? It is because they know what they are doing, and they know what they are aiming at. So the helicopter bills were not the only line items that alarmed the committee. The lawmakers also scrutinized spending on hospitality, which included catering services, on-site staff, food, and also fresh flowers. The committee pushed hard on whether these expenses represented value for Kenyan taxpayers. And accountability was a recurring theme throughout the session. The committee also flagged critical institutional failure, and the office of the deputy president now lacks a functioning audit committee, the oversight body in a legal requirement for public institutions, and its absence means that nobody inside Kindiki's office has been independently checking whether money is being spent correctly. Therefore, without an internal audit committee, wasteful of irregular spending can go undetected for months, and if not an entire budget year, and that is precisely what appears to have happened. The office of the deputy president responded by saying it is working with the National Treasury to manage budgetary constraints and also reduce pending bills. It also pledged to improve expenditure management going forward, but promised, rather the promises of the future improvement do not explain the 150 million already spent on helicopters or 80 million charged to the public in a single day. Kenya's public debt burden continues to squeeze ordinary citizens through high taxes and rising prices against the backdrop. And Kindiki's chopper spending of the scale is not just a financial question, it is a political one, that the PSC has 1 week to get answers, and Kenyans are now watching. I don't know what you think, but I think that Kithure Kindiki's goose is now cooked, and anytime he may kicked out the way Rigathi Gachagua was kicked out. And that is why I recently wanted to make peace with Rigathi Gachagua, saying that he can not insult him no more. So many things are in this William Ruto government. I don't know what you think, but you can give your comment down there in the comment section. And if you're new here, consider subscribing, liking and sharing your comment as a way of supporting us and also motivating us to bring you such contents from Kenya and beyond. Hitting the notification bell, turn it on so that you can be receiving notification each and every time we bring you a new content.